Hey everybody, Michael Gunderson here. Um, I just want to start off by saying I'm looking forward to working with everybody this term, um, and hopefully we'll get an opportunity to do some work. But a little bit about me, brief description. I was born in Enumclaw, Washington. Some of you guys may know where that is, but it's a little small town, uh, farm town, and I still live here. I've stopped in a couple other places to work and things like that, but I found my way back here, living here temporarily. But Enumclaw is a good town, and I was born and raised here, and really wonderful. Some of the hobbies for myself, I like to cook, in particular barbecue. That's one of my. It's kind of like a passion of mine. There's something about putting in the time and effort into, producing a product, and then you get to eat it, and so cooking is definitely one of my hobbies. I think something I'm always trying to get better at as well. Uh, I'm also a big advocate for the outdoors. I like to hike, fish. Any chance I can get to be outside. I'm usually trying to be outside as much as possible. So, one of my hobbies as well. My professional background. I began working with kids when I was a student at the University of Washington. I was a mentor in their Dream Project program, which was all about helping kids develop a plan, um, and charting a path towards graduation, and then starting to put together some plans for what they wanted to do after once they graduated from high school. And so that's kind of the moment where, doing that program is where I learned that, I really want to be a teacher. And so after that, I started to pursue getting my teaching certificate. Um, I've spent 5 years in the Federal Way School District teaching at Todd Beamer High School, and I've worked in Ocean Beach School District at Ilwaco as well. Um, and so, I've had some time in the high school setting, not so much, I guess, in elementary or middle school. Uh, Currently, I'm not in the classroom. I left the profession. I'd been teaching social studies and English when I was in the classroom. I left the profession because I wanted to gather hours to get my CTE certificate, because some of those, CTE programs are, I think they're good for the kids, and I wanted to be involved with it. But after I found this program for PE, I kind of dropped the idea of doing my CTE, and so I'm using this program as a way to get back into the classroom. Um, and so, I'm looking forward to all the things that we're going to learn here, obviously. And for me, over break, between the past term and the beginning of this one, I didn't do a whole lot. It was a pretty low key break for me. Got to hang out with my wife. I have two boys. One of them's 2, and the other one's 4 months. And those guys are a lot of fun. So I certainly wasn't lacking in fun over break. But there was a couple of COVID scares with the work that I do. A couple individuals had tested positive for COVID, and so I didn't get a chance to see my family or my in-laws much because I didn't I didn't end up getting sick, but in the event that I potentially was sick, I didn't want to spread that to my parents or my wife's parents. And so mostly for me it was just hanging out at the house with my wife and kids. So there were 2 prompts that we had to discuss in this video. First one, about what's being done for PE programs in our district. Since I'm not in a district, I was thinking about what should possibly be done in maybe my home district or former districts that I've worked. And I was thinking that since kids are at home, since schools are shut down, I think creating a more visible presence for the PE side of education, and with fitness in particular, being more visible to the kids when they're at home. Because obviously there's an emphasis on math and science and things like that, which is definitely important. But I think, a lot of us have kind of seen stats that say that, some kids are struggling because they're not getting a chance to see their peers. And so I think that, they might be struggling with mental health as a result of that. And so I think being more visible with the PE side of it, with being active and trying to have overall good fitness, Um, if we were able to do that for the PE program and make it more visible for kids, I think it would benefit them both physically and mentally during this time where they're doing school online. And particularly when we move back to, some districts are going to be doing a hybrid model where, uh, when kids are allowed back in school, they're going to have some days at school and then some days are going to be online. So I think, being more visible for the PE programs, I think that's something that is important. Uh, for the second prompt, developing a program. Uh, I've spent many years coaching high school athletes in track and football and a lot of different sports, um, and so I feel like being a coach, obviously you have to create a program where kids are going to be active and engaged when they're coming out after school and participating in the sport. And so, I feel that, creating a program where kids can come out, if you think about track and field, for example, incorporating weights and calisthenics and things like that instead of just, throwing, shot put and discus every day and javelin, you obviously need to incorporate that other stuff and schedule it. And so I feel that that's kind of a program that, through coaching, creating a program and having kids work through it. As far as challenges, when kids turn out for a sport, there's all different levels of skill, there's all different levels of development. And so, meeting those needs of all those different kids that show up and want to participate in the sport is definitely a challenge. And so you really need to give each kid one-on-one time during that short time that you have after school at practice. But it's doable. I mean, I think most coaches try and find time to talk to each kid and work with each kid and help them develop. So, but it's a challenge, but it's definitely doable. I think successes, seeing kids improve obviously over the course of the season. Some kids move on into the postseason after the regular season ends, and so through kind of vicariously through my student athletes, I see my success because my kids are doing well and they're improving. And so, definitely a positive when kids do well. Makes me happy, makes me feel like I'm doing a good job if they're succeeding. And so it's definitely a bonus when kids are feeling good about themselves and doing well. So that's about it. Hopefully I have a chance to work with you guys over the rest of the term. And if questions arise, it'd be good to work with you guys. So hopefully you guys are doing well, and we'll be talking to you through the course of the term.